Welcome to another Wealth Guide IQ video. Here at Wealth Guide, we help connect individuals with financial advisors that we believe are both trustworthy and capable. In today's video, we're going to be covering 401k savings or 403b plans and any other type of employer-sponsored plan, specifically those with a company match. So we'll be looking at if you contribute a certain percentage of your salary, how much will that account grow to by the time that you retire? And also, what percent do I need to contribute in order to get the maximum company match? So we'll be covering those two items in today's video, and let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to use this 401k calculator here at Wealth Guide IQ. Now this is labeled a 401k calculator, but this works equally well for a 403b. So if you have either one of those two plans and it's employer sponsored with a company match, this calculator would work quite well. So don't let the 401k throw you off if you have a 403b plan. We go ahead and scroll down here. The first thing we have to do is input information on the left side here, starting with our annual salary. We have a default value of $75,000 here. I'll go ahead and update this and say I'm making $80,000 per year. And then we want to then add our contribution percent. This is the amount that you're contributing on an annual basis into your retirement savings plan or 401k. If you don't know this percentage, you can usually log into a web portal that's provided by your company and find this somewhere online for that. Or you can call your HR department and ask, hey, what am I contributing as a percentage of my salary into my 401k? I have this set to 10% here, which is a great savings rate for someone making $80,000 per year. And the next input we have would be your annual salary increases. Many companies on average give raises somewhere between 3 and 5% per year. So those would be a pretty normal range to use over the course of your career. If you plan on getting promotions or maybe being more aggressive in your career, this may go higher than that. But I wouldn't estimate too high on this, just to make sure that your inputs are conservative so that you are saving enough. I'll go ahead and update this to 5, which would be a great career and pretty good advancement along the way. So this is how much my $80,000 salary is increasing on an annual basis. Next up, I'll input my current age. I am 38 for another month. And desired retirement age. I have that set to 65 here. So with that, you have the information completed for your particular information. And the next thing we want to add, I'll go ahead and collapse this, is the 401k information. We start with your current balance. So this would be how much money do you have in your 401k at this moment in time. I'll type in a random number. So say I have $21,531 saved up to this point. You would just type that number in here. The next input is the rate of return on your investments. If you're younger, so in this example, we have 39 for the age. I think that someone in the age bracket generally makes sense to be invested entirely in a highly diversified portfolio of equities that are low cost. So they probably are going to earn somewhere around 8%, maybe 9% over the lifetime of their 401k. Now, if you're older, let's say you're 55, 60 and you're retiring soon, you may want to use a lower rate of return. If you're in a target date fund or you have more fixed income, you're going to want to lower this number to a more appropriate return level. But for this example, we'll use 8% for the rate of return on my investments. Now, this last part is probably the most important, and you can get a lot of value out of this by understanding your employer match. There are many companies that when you contribute to your savings plan, whether it's 401k or 403b, they'll match a portion of what you contribute. So if you don't contribute anything, they don't match anything. If you contribute $1, they will put in a certain percentage of a match. This employer match percent is how much they're willing to match for every dollar you put in. So with the value of 50 here, because that's already a percent, if I put in $1, they're going to put in 50 cents. Meaning I have $1.50 in my account by only putting $1 in there. That 50 cents is free money. It's a very, very good thing to get your full employer match. Now, if you're not contributing anything, you're just leaving that free money on the table. So getting the maximum employer match is a big deal, which is this next input here. And we'll talk about how to calculate that here in a second. But this employer match value can range pretty widely. You're going to want to get that either from that employment portal where you found your contribution rate. You can see if you can find it in your plan documents there, or you can call your HR department and ask, hey, how much does the company match on my 401k contributions? 50% is pretty normal, but it's often capped at a certain percentage. We have a default value here of 6%. And what that means is they're going to do a 50% match on any money you put in, up to 6% of your total salary. So in order to make sure you get the full match, what you have to do is divide the maximum employer match by the employer match percent. So 6 divided by 0.5, or 50%, because it's going to be a decimal. So 60 divided by 0.5 is 12%. So you can see here with these default values of 10%, I actually am leaving free money on the table. 6 divided by 0.5 is 12. I probably am going to want to put this up to 12 to make sure I get that full match. Definitely would recommend that, and call your HR department if you need any help with that to see if they can get you squared away. So with that, we have our inputs, we have the employer match, we have our rate of return, current balances. That's the inputs on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side here, we now have your savings at retirement. And remember, retirement here I have at age 65. So for me, I said 39 for the current age. It's okay, it's at 38, but that was earlier. On the right-hand side here, we have how much you will have saved with the employer match, without the employer match. You're going to earn with the employer match if you just stayed with the same company and continue that contribution rate and hit that rate of return. So this is the number that is where you'll really be at retirement. This one is less important unless, let's say you're looking at quitting at your company or switching jobs. This employer match that we talked about here with the 50% saving match rate up to 6% maximum, that usually comes with something that's known as a vesting schedule, meaning you have to work at the company for a certain period of time in order for those matched dollars to fully become yours. If you're looking at quitting your job or switching a job, I would definitely look through your documentation from when you get hired and find that vesting schedule to figure out when those dollars become yours. The reason this can be really valuable is, let's say you're looking at quitting and switching employment. If you quit hypothetically in August and you were about to vest in September, working at that company one more month could mean thousands of vested dollars for you, but you just didn't look at your plan documents. So knowing when you vest is a very valuable thing and a big deal, particularly if you're looking at switching jobs. So that's our 401k calculator. You can actually use this in conjunction with our calculator, how much is enough to save in retirement. Using that calculator, you can figure out, okay, how much do I need? And then you can come over here and see, am I on pace with the employer match to save enough money? So those two calculators used in conjunction can be quite valuable in doing retirement planning. So that's it for our video on 401k savings or any other type of employer-sponsored plan. If you're an individual and you'd like to get matched with a vetted financial advisor, or you'd have a question that you'd like answered by a licensed professional, go to www.wealthguideiq.com and schedule a free consultation.